Howdy, everybody. It's time for a race of Chippendale 2. See who gets the furthest in 30 minutes.
A simple game. Nothing complicated this time.
It's really not so bad. It's kind of just an expansion on the first game. I don't like the bosses much. They're not great, but they're not hard. They're just tedious.
Yeah, you said this one has pretty crappy bosses. I've seen this game before. I'm familiar with them. There's a few that seem kind of cool to me, but they're probably really annoying to fight, so.
They just have a lot of downtime. Even the final boss is a whole lot of downtime, not a whole lot of things going on. Ready to
All right,
go.
you want me to go ahead and give them the go-ahead?
Yep, I'm all set. Everybody looks good. Reasonably good.
All right. All right, they're going to have 30 minutes on the clock to see how far they get. That's enough time that we could see some clears.
Theoretically possible. Chippendale 1 is like a 15-minute game. This one's longer, but I don't think it's that much longer. You can't skip half the stages in this one. You have to do them all. The clock is on. 30 minutes counting down. Pulling audio from Okami. This game kind of really is an expansion of the first game. The controls are very similar. I like the controls. They're very tight, very good. You pick up a box, you throw it, it's your weapon. You don't tend to get weapons. Oh, you can throw diagonally. I don't think I even knew that. I think that's unique to this game. But you don't tend to get weapons during the boss fight. It's got the Kirby problem where you have no powers, where you just don't get a weapon at all until they throw one at you. That's one of the reasons it's slow.
Yeah, the speedruns play this in two-player mode so that you can throw the other chipmunk at them instead. If I'm not mistaken, the main speedruns for this like basically rubber band two NES controllers front to back, so that you can control both controllers simultaneously.
That's good. The first game, if you threw a friend into an enemy, they would take damage. So I don't think I even tried that. Those aren't turkeys because they're chipmunk sized. They must just be like pigeons or something, right?
Just quail, yeah.
Oh, there's another mechanic that's really weird. I just saw subwoofers do it. If you walk, kind of like in Super Dodgeball, straight and don't do anything else for like 10 steps, you will get a power-up on your box throw that pierces enemies.
Huh.
If it starts glowing, that's what's going on there.
Yeah, I've seen a few people holding glowing boxes. It's just like if you hold it for long enough, or you have to...
It's walking straight forward with no stopping for a while, is how it works.
Okay.
It's like a running, but without running sort of thing.
And so if you stop moving, it stops being powered up?
Yeah, it will debuff back to a normal box, which is good enough anyway, but the powered up box is pretty funny. Man, being able to throw Dale and also being able to charge boxes is gonna make me... I was about to do challenges for this game. I'm gonna have to revisit the concept here. This and Arrow the Acrobat, the two challenge lists I have to get through.
You could probably make a fun challenge for this game with, like you're on a boss fight and Dale is spawned in, and not only do you have to beat the boss, but you have to prevent Dale from, like, falling off the boss.
Yeah, that's this one. That actually exists. We tried to do that. It's really hard. But if he can be a weapon, that kind of changes the game a little bit. These bosses take more hits than before, and you don't get as much weaponry. In the first game, you had this red orb, this mysterious red companion orb, and you could just throw it whenever you wanted. There it is. The orb is on screen from Merlin Cross in the bonus round here. It's a pretty good game. Like I said, I don't care for the bosses, but they added a bunch of other mechanics like the ones we're talking about. There's wind mechanics now, new enemies that are pretty good. First game was a little clunky with some of the enemies, but they had some good ones too. I like the dudes what throw the box back at you and the kangaroos and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know why I've never really played this one. I have played Chip and Dale, the first one. A lot of these Disney games, I've played the original, but I never played the sequel. Like, I haven't played nearly as much DuckTales 2 as I have DuckTales 1.
It's an easier game. I don't think there's anything in it.
This one's easier?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything in it really that's gonna get you. Except for these boss fights. Spritz has already figured out how to do it. This took me a while to figure out even how to hurt this boss. He drops a cube at you, and you have to throw it at him before he destroys it, or make him miss it when he just swooping down. Because he will break it, and then you won't have a weapon. And you're
Is it
also
just a matter of how he targets you to decide whether or not it stays on screen? Because some of them
Yes.
seem to go off screen.
They all go off screen except for one. Only one's allowed to be a weapon at a time, and he does aim at you with both his dive and his cube. And if he dives into the box, it will break. So it's like 4 problems with this guy. It's just really weird. He's still a decent boss though. They get slower. Like every boss is slower than the one before it until the final boss, which is like 2 forms of Dracula slow. He'll be there forever.
Well,
And
since our
then-
players have 2 characters to choose from, do you have any opinions on which is the correct character to choose? Like, who made the right call here?
It's always Dale. Have you seen this show?
I feel like I watched it growing up, but I don't really remember anything about it. I mean, I remember they had like an agency, and there was like this one. There was this one that had the big mustache, and there was a girl. Her name was Gadget.
That's right.
I've now told you everything I remember about Chip and Dale.
Monterey Jack is the rat. He is a World War I veteran, I guess.
Okay. He's the mustached man. Got it.
I don't remember what he does exactly other than when he smells cheese, he turns into a zombie. And just goes running around. Gadget is the one who flies their like helicopter thing and stuff. Makes machinery for them. And then Chip and Dale are... They're basically Raphael and Michelangelo from the Turtles. So Dale is Michelangelo and Raphael's kind of a jerk. And that's Chip. And I guess he's supposed to be themed off of Indiana Jones. That's what he looks like. And Dale is Magnum PI, I guess. Which both could have been Tom Selleck, but thankfully only one of them was. There's also a Fly. I don't remember his deal too much. His name is Zipper. I don't remember a lot about the show. They're definitely doing some big stuff. Like in this game, in level 1, they're defusing a bomb. Except in New York City.
We need a reboot of the series. We need to bring back Chip and Dale.
It's higher quality than it probably should be. There's also this baseball thing, which is thrown in a weird way. It lobs like holy water would in Castlevania. It's too heavy for the Dale to throw, so it just goes around like that. It's I don't like it as a weapon much, but it's kind of like the axe, I guess, in its arc, so it's useful for that. It was a good show. Merlin Cross and Okami are in the lead. Spritz is there as well. This boss 3 they're fighting, he's, as you can see, not too intimidating, just takes forever. As long as you're careful here, no problem.
So how's the progress coming along? Are we going to see clears, or is everyone playing at normal gamer speed?
I think we might. 20 minutes to go. They're gonna get at least into the end game. If it weren't for the slow bosses, I bet we would. I'm not sure what a good time for Chip and Dale 2 looks like, but they're getting to about halfway through already.
Let's see.
Just the end game is so
Speedrun.com.
time consuming. I think if they know what to do, like if they have familiarity with the end game, they might be able to do it. That's really what it's going to come down to, I think.
Yeah, so the world record's 16:15, and obviously shorter than that if you do the 1 player 2 controllers category, which is a different thing, but just 1 player 16:15, so you know, twice that amount of time, maybe we'll see them get to the end of it.
Subwoofers just taking hits because they're just playing a little risky with this boss, who has way too much health, and then they died and lost all their progress. That's the scary thing here. You do have 3 credits, which hopefully is enough.
It's the worst thing about slow bosses like this, is you just get antsy after a while. I'm guilty of that all the time in casual blind races. Feeling like something's taking me too long and I start playing too aggressive.
Well, none of the stages, until there's a clock tower stage, that's like the only one I can remember being difficult in any like Chippendale 1 sort of way, which had stage like, what was it, probably F? There's a stage with some Yoku blocks and some other stuff. There's some, and then stage J, infamous mean stage, with some gotchas at the end of it. There's not really anything like that in this game until the clock tower, and that's like the very last level almost. I think that it should be a better game. I don't think it is as fun because of the slow boss fights and stuff. It's too much to it. They got a lot of cool effects going on and stuff. I think this game came out in like '93 though.
That sounds correct. Something like that.
Pretty dang late. Like it was released before people had decided whether or not we would keep buying the same games console or we would upgrade, and we didn't recognize that we needed that Super Nintendo yet. This boss is probably the worst one for time consuming. The ghost boss that Spritz is on, absolutely dreadful. You have to wait for him to do a pass. If he feels like it, he'll give you a weapon. He might not. It might not hit. You have to hit him like 8 times. You have to wait until he does this. Sometimes he chooses not to do that. It's like a 50-50 on whether you're gonna get a weapon or not.
Interesting.
It's really, yeah, and then missing feels really bad because of that. It's really a case of just, he should die in 3 hits. I mean, he's just not, I don't know, you just need him to do more. He shouldn't, honestly, I don't know why they changed it. The red orb should just be here, honestly. That's all they really needed. Put the red orb there. If you want to give the bosses more health, that's fine, I guess, but where is the orb? Waiting for the move is, too slow. Monterey Jack in this game gives you a full heal when he shows up. In the first game, he kind of opens up passages for you. It's cutscene stuff.
I guess what you said makes sense about, like, in Chippendale 1, sometimes there'll be, like, cheese in a room, and then he'll run through and break a wall down.
Yeah. I don't remember any of the plot of Chippendale, really, but I remember him saying, cheese, and his eyes go green, and he just goes walking towards it, and nothing can stop him. He's, immovable force. He's going to eat that cheese. And that's what's going on in that cutscene. Unstoppable force. Immovable rat.
It's relatable. I get that way about cheese, too.
Yeah, I don't have like a high opinion of the Chippendale bosses in the first game. They're all serviceable. They're not... None of them are really that bad. I think they're mostly fair. Some of them aren't fantastic in fairness, but they're all fast, and that's important to me. That doesn't happen here, really. It was okay on the first fight, and then the second fight's a little worse, and then after that, they're all like this ghost. Spritz has cleared it already and has chosen a stage. They're at the part of the game where you pick 3 stages for some reason. You have to do all 3. And then once you've done that, you get to the final area and then you fight Fat Cat's awful robot.
Well, it sounds like they have ample time then.
Could be done. Gotta be careful on these jumps. The checkpointing is worse than Chip and Dale 1. Normally when you fall down a pit like that, you just respawn, I think. Maybe that's only 2-player mode. That definitely happens in 2-player mode. You just balloon in.
Yeah.
Chip and Dale 1 and 2 both have, like, top-tier co-op mode. In the year, I don't know, 2000 nothing, I would marvel at how no game had co-op like this one yet. New Super Mario Brothers wasn't here yet. It took them that 20 years to figure out that we like the bubble system and playing at the same time, parallel co-op.
Yeah, I wonder what the reason was why that sort of went out of style for a while.
SNES had a bunch of games with some weird co-op, like Pocky and Rocky, and then it just disappeared. Contra was like the only source of it for a while. As hard as Contra is, 2-player mode, fantastic. A new boss has appeared. This one's not too bad. This one's kinda like the Chip and Dale 1 bosses. It's just so many hits have to be done to kill it. Reminds me of the DuckTales bosses a little bit. Wait, runs back and forth. I don't know what the hell it is, like, thematically. It's an ostrich that's chipmunk-sized on a cog and pissed.
Well, Mega Man games got away with it.
It's a cog that shoots cogs, and you can run on it. There's a 3-minute time limit on this fridge level. It is the shortest level in the game, probably. It's like 60 seconds long, and that's being generous. So don't worry too much about that, but there is a time limit. So basically, once you get to the amusement park, that's where you get your choice opened up. If you're good at the bonus round in this, which happens after every single stage and even the final boss, where it is useless but they still make you play it, you can get 2 1-ups every single time. That adds up fast. Okami's in one of the lousy stages for gameplay. It's this rail cart thing. Doesn't control very well.
Doesn't look like it controls at all. Oh, is this... It has like a brake for you to avoid getting hit by things?
Yeah, you can. The problem is that your iframes turn off your ability to grab the handle, so you have to wait.
Oh, that's nasty.
So Okami just tried to push forward after getting hit and died because they weren't existing anymore. They made a mistake. They just made a mistake completely with that. Once you're aware of that, you can account for it, but when you don't know about it, you're gonna fly right off.
Right. Because you're pushing right to try to move the car.
Yeah.
And you just walk off the edge.
There's 3 of these rail cart sections, I think. They themselves aren't that tough. You got lots of maneuverability. The level of control that you have in Chip and Dale is just good enough to make up for this.
I think that one of the problems with this rail cart section is that you have to get very close to the rocks for them to fall, so... Like, even if you're preparing for it, you end up having to get in a really precarious position.
Here's a top hat cat magician.
Yep, that makes sense for the Western world.
The faster you can throw that projectile, the sooner you can make him make a new one for you, because he will not let you have 2 at once. So that's important if you're trying to be fast. And to get those shots out as soon as possible. He does take a ridiculous, like, 8 hits still, so... It might be 6. It's more than 5, though, that's for sure. I feel like it's 8. It's way too many. final boss takes like 30, I swear. It felt like a million damage, and you're sitting there waiting just like this ghost. Kami's on 1 health trying to fight this cat. There it is. Spritz also
Nice.
working on the cat.
Spritz has the advantage though, 1 extra level completed, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're an entire stage ahead, and they're in first place.
Because I think Okami hasn't done the clock tower yet.
That's a pretty nasty stage, and Spritz knew it. Like, completely just knew it. It was pretty clearly. Actually, that looks like maybe the final level that Okami's on. Maybe they are in the lead now.
Oh, never mind.
I think it is.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think this is one of the 3 levels to choose from.
Okami took
that
the
I
lead
could
at some
tell.
point. I think
Yeah, we
Spritz is
just
there
must
right
have
now,
missed
though.
we just must have missed the clock tower.
This final level's not so bad. Not really anything in it. Stage J with this rockin' music in the first game. Not so easy. It's got a lot of enemies that take 2 hits. I had to do retro achievements before I finally figured out after 37 years on this earth or whatever that I could get through there without taking a hit. It was possible in some kind of way. Well, we might have 2 clears because both of these players they're capable of beating this from here in this time limit.
Yeah, 9 minutes on what you're suggesting is the final stage.
It is, and the boss is just a dude who takes too many hits, and then he takes form 2.
Like
too
every
many-
other boss.
Yeah, he just doubles up on it. He's twice as bad. He's very slow. Not dangerous at all. They're gonna be able to do it skill-wise. It's just a matter of patience. If you can get to him, there's no reason why you couldn't finish it. Oh, this boss Okami's dealing with is in the way. I forgot completely about this guy. I hate him.
Jeez.
He's probably the hardest thing in this game.
This boss is really nasty looking.
The way to get him has to be, you have to jump in between him and his ball. It's the
Yeah.
only way he's vulnerable. But if
he
you don't
moves
do
so
it right,
erratically.
yeah, if you don't do it right, you're gonna get run over. The way to do it is hard to figure. Put it lightly.
I would maybe try going in there and jumping when he stops to lower the ball again. I would get half as many hits, but it would at least seem safer, I think.
He does stop at the left side of the screen. He goes back at full speed, tends to go back and forward in some kind of pattern. I didn't know you could fire diagonally like Spritz just did, so that's
Yeah.
kind of a game changer for me on this boss. That would have been huge. Not having to jump there between that, and I don't know if Okami knows that.
I don't know if the diagonal throw is the better choice, though. It really seems like you'd want to wait till it stops and then jump, so you jump over the rubble and hit him with the one that you already had in hand.
It's not safe to do the jump. I can assure you of that. But
Right.
if you do it the way you're saying, you will probably be safe. It'll just take forever. The speedy way to do it is gonna be that diagonal throw for sure.
Yeah. Now that I'm looking at it, I think one of the benefits of that diagonal throw is you could do it without having to jump up in between the wrecking ball and the... Like, you could just do it from the ground, which means you can do it while he's moving, potentially.
Yeah, that's the big thing. The hitbox is on the wrecking ball, the chain, and most of the tractor.
Yeah, okay, I'm convinced. That diagonal throw right there is definitely the play.
This is Spritz's chance to take the lead. If they keep this up, they've almost got this guy. He also takes way too many hits. It's an endurance battle with a guy who takes 20 damage. Okami's got the moves though. 1 health. Okami killed him first. Somehow.
Kami's making some great plays.
There it is. They're tied.
That's close. Merlin Cross, by the way, also made it into this boss while we've been talking.
Nice. It's hard to tell where the other players are at because of the open-ended nature of this part of the game. But they'll take a look at their stage select when they get there, if there is one. If there's not, then they're on the third stage. This certainly is the final stage that they're on now. They can hit this conveyor belt switch with the box just like in the first game if they want to. By ducking down and throwing it. Five minutes remain. I want to say that's how long the final boss takes by himself. We'll see. There's not as much healing in this game, I feel like. It's here. It's not a 2-heal acorn. I don't know if those exist. Monterey gives you a full heal, though, when you see him, and there he is. I guess because they put that in, they figured they didn't need to give you as many items. Kami's just burning through it. Tried to hit the switch, missed, gave up. You don't need it, it's just nice.
Brit's holding on to their health a lot better, so...
Enemy density in this game is lower. I think this is the final stretch. These awful cannons that can't be destroyed that shoot tennis balls.
Brit's taking a few hits in the same way that Okami did. That's a tough run right there. You have to really... I feel like you really have to, like, plan it out.
Yeah, they give you the walls to dodge it pretty easily if you use them. If you just go straight through, you're gonna get hit. I don't think you can destroy any of this stuff either, so it's a matter of not rushing it.
Okami really, really trying to play it safe there.
Oh, you can hide in the box, not take damage. That's neat. Wow. Oh no! They got a lot of 1-ups built up from all their victories. There it is. Finally ran out. Spritz has made it through to Dang. The Dang Room. I remember the Dang Room. The Danger Room?
Danger.
What? There he is. That cat gives a speech about how great he is and Dell says, "Did you hear something?" I don't think that's what they meant, but it is pretty funny.
Dan!
Alright, this boss sucks. You have
But
to
does it
stand
suck
here
2 minutes and 22 seconds?
Yeah, probably. Like, it might just be... I bet the speedrun gets here... If it's 16 minutes, I bet it gets here at 13 minutes. I bet we're not going to see it clear just because of how bad this boss is, unfortunately. So we're going to have to measure by who got to the boss first, or just measure that they both did it. What you have to do is cook a bomb. You're going to learn about this in Spelunky, if you don't already know about cooking bombs from Mario. Either that, or...
I played SMB too.
Yeah, it's the same concept. He has to land on the bomb, or you have to hit him with it when it blows up, and he doesn't do it very fast. And it's still, it takes like probably literally 20 of them. If he lands on the bomb, he will take damage from it. There's a lot of bomb cooking in Spelunky as like a primary feature of the game. If you I would say it's an advanced feature, but a feature nevertheless. If you don't know how to do that, you might be in trouble. I was playing Spelunky in anticipation of maybe someday you'll play it. What a game.
We got 3 players on the Fat Cat Robot.
It might just be a 3-way tie for first if that's what we're calling it, unless you want to go by Kusa Grande rules of who made it there first. Spritz is the winner if it's the latter option.
Yeah, Spritz, then Merlin Cross, then Okami.
That game over
Looks like...
Okami back a little bit. Time is up. Unless you want to extend the clock. They probably do need a couple of minutes to beat this boss. Spritz did not win because there's 2 phases, but they did make it to phase 2.
Well, that's promising.
I'm happy to sit here and chill while they win if you want. The clock has struck. He doesn't ever really, even when he starts his new phase, do anything new. I don't think I should even call it a new phase. He just took visible damage. If he goes to the center of the screen or whatever, he doesn't even attack you. He just flies back up.
I'm gonna go ahead and give them placement right now, because I think those who are not on the final boss are probably kind of letting it ride. So I'll pass along some information about what the order is as it stands right now. But I'm down to see someone finish this boss.
It's so slow. I was so disappointed to see this boss show up because I'm making challenges for this game and I can't use this. There's nothing here. They would have just given you the red orb and let you throw it like 10 times. Would have been fine. I don't mind the cooking of the bombs idea, but how about some more bombs at least? Damn, something. Spritz has blown up the machine? They've won. They've done it. There's our clear in 32 minutes.
Fantastic. Well, fantastic race. I'm surprised that we pretty much did get a clear in the 30-minute window. Especially because it didn't strike me that Spritz necessarily had like speedrunning experience with this game. So, I mean, a 30-minute clear is still really respectable.
Ah, the factory blows up. Fat Cat dies. No big deal. He just somehow survived, I guess. Maybe. Hey, nice race, everybody.
Well done.
I think it's a neat game. I do take issue with that last boss and the ghost specifically. The diagonal throw kind of fixes the other one that I would complain about. That's not so bad. With that move I didn't know about. I should have paid attention to the manual. I'm sure it's in there. If I knew about that move, I would have posted about it in the chat. But I didn't.
Well, I think maybe there's some room for some cool challenges in this one, but I imagine it wouldn't be the bosses because those are kind of nasty.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to revisit it. I just ran through the whole game like last week, and I didn't ever see that you could throw Chip or Dale, and I didn't ever see this diagonal throw either. I figured out the charge attack, which is not useful for the boss fights. But that's about it. I didn't see any of these other mechanics. That's cool. Hey, thanks for joining me, Author Blues. You doing any broadcasting?
Yeah, I might fire up.
Alrighty, what you into?
I've been working through Final Fantasy V, 4-Job Fiesta.
Oh
Never done a 4-Job Fiesta, but I'd played Final Fantasy V before, so that's been pretty fun.
Nice. That's a good one. That's a fun game.
Yeah.
Alrighty, see you later.
Later.